As a man, it's quite difficult to say how you feel.
Yeah, after your previous tour, you spent some time with friends and family again. How important was that on that moment to really go back to in your personal environment again?
I toured my last album for 2 years around the world, sleeping on a tour bus with 12 men, and by the end of it, having not been in one still place, it was really nice to come home and just hang out with friends and live an ordinary life, and some shallow moments. Because without those, new experiences with good people, who matter to myself, there would be nothing to write about. So it was really important just to come and hang out with them.
Yeah, so the tour was maybe also a little bit too repetitive to get for some new inspiration. Yeah.
I think I love touring, I love performing live, but I find it hard to write so much on the road because we're just really busy.
Mm. What is so great about being on the road, always away from home? You told us before that it's the best job in the world, but I can imagine that at certain points you feel fed up with it, or not?
Yeah, I don't really get very homesick. I'm really happy being away from home, and I really enjoy seeing new places. And my passion and my hobby is music, so to get up on stage every night with a band is a treat. And then to have an audience rock up and have fun with us, and as I say, just to enjoy listening to what we're playing, that's pretty good. So now I enjoy it.
So
if I didn't enjoy it, I'd go home.
Yeah. So it isn't difficult for you to go back on the road again and leave your friends and family behind again when you start this tour in the next year?
No, they're my choices.
Yeah.
It's my choice, and it's my name on the ticket. And the moment I don't enjoy it, I can walk away.
Yeah, because that not feeling homesick, how much does it have to do maybe the way your parents brought you up? Because your father was also in the army, just like yourself. How become such things that they teach you, how did they become useful in your career as a musician?
Yeah, of course. I think my parents sent me to a boarding school when I was 7, and that's when I left home, and so. I guess that toughens you up from an early age, and then I joined the army, and I haven't been at home for a long time. So the notion of being homesick is a strange concept. I'm not a kid, and I couldn't imagine. You look like an adult to me too. It would be strange for you to say you're homesick in that front. Life is out there, and life is for living, and I've got a job that allows me to do that, and so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, sure. It's not that I feel homesick when I'm away for a long time, but it's like what I say. I can imagine that if I'm away for 6 months, then sometimes I just want to see the people.
Yeah.
That I
So
love.
well, if I sure, I think you're right. That sometimes I miss my friends, of course, and then I will get on the phone and tell them to come and join me.
Yeah.
If I have enough air miles, I'll get them on my air miles.
Yeah. Was it for you always obvious that you would end up as a musician?
Yeah, my dream has always been to be a musician, and I started doing that when I was 14 years old, and from there I think it changed a little bit what I was expecting and what really happened. I was just hoping to make albums that I loved, and then something very strange happened that it became very visible, and lots of people went and bought my albums, but my ambition was more controlled than that and more limited, and that was just to do music and make some albums.
What did you, back then, what triggered you to fall in love with music?
I think I just loved the way you can express yourself in music. I think as a man, it's quite difficult to say how you feel, because when someone says, "Tell me how you feel," as a man, you say, "I'm fine." Thank you. And why would I say anything else? And I think the Dutch men can probably relate to that. Dutch men are quite reserved, aren't they? And I like that. I think that's a good thing. But the thing I appreciated about music is that for all the things that I wouldn't say openly, I could capture them in a song.
Yeah. And at the start, was it difficult to capture such emotions into a song, or was it just the obvious outlet for yourself?
Yeah, I think it came pretty quickly to me. I had a relatively decent background in music, so I knew how to play some musical instruments, and then when I picked up the electric guitar, I guess it's an exciting sounding instrument, and so straight away I just found I found a certain freedom from it, and it made me want to write songs straight away. From that moment, I said, "This is what I'm going to do."